Welcome everyone. Glad to be here. My name is Jeff Emerson. I'm a director at True Freedom Recovery Yoga, and we are a yoga studio that dedicates ourselves to the 12-step recovery process. And we've worked with Project Yoga before in different aspects, and we do similar things in that we send people out into treatment centers, and I know they're have a more broader aspects with their training or what they're doing. But we do similar things, and it's always good to be part of such a wonderful organization. Here with my co-director, Lori Weiss, and we're going to go through the chakra system today using my book, Unfolding the Lotus, Working the Fourth Step Through the Chakra System. It just came out with the second edition, which adds more of the 5 elements and how they relate to the chakras. The chakras, of course, are good for our physical parts, and each one of them work on different parts of our organs and endocrine system. But today we're going to use more of the psychological aspects of the 7 chakras. Of course, there's more in 7 chakras. There's chakras in our hands. That's how we can do Reiki and things like that. But we're going to do the 7 chakras, 7 main chakras. So we're going to start off in staff pose. So just to work onto our first chakra, bringing your hands down, your toes back, just to open up our hamstrings and feel a sense of being grounded into Mother Earth. And in our recovery, we look at what is our foundation, who supports us, and but not only that, our ancestors and where we came from. And these things are important in that we can sometimes feed off the traumas of our ancestors, and we might not even realize that they're affecting our lives today, but they're there. And then of course the first chakra, there's on each one of the chakras there is a excess and a deficient amount. The excess of the first chakra is when you need to feel safety all the time, when you feel like you need protection. So fear is the shadow part of the first chakra. So having too much energy in your first chakra, you might stay in your house a lot, you might hoard a lot, you might not be active, be in inertia of the tamasic energies. But then having too much energy or not enough energy in your first chakra, you might be flighty and not being able to find a home anywhere, even when you are someplace solid. So we want to have that balance in all the chakras. And the balance in the first chakra would be having a sense of confidence and feeling a sense of feeling at home in your body. And so we try to do that. And maybe we can feel the sense of arriving into your body as we sit just for a few more breaths. And as you exhale, feel as if you're letting go, surrendering to the Mother Earth with her acceptance, her nurturing aspect, allowing the Panavayu to go downward, and maybe feeling as if you're releasing something that you've been holding on to. For our second chakra, you'll do the yin version of Baddha Konasana, and that would do more of a butterfly. So bringing your feet out into a diamond shape. Again, feeling the groundedness, and all these energies are going from the more solid to the more subtle. But into our second chakra, the energy of the water element. The first chakra being the earth element, second chakra being the water element of our feelings, our creativity, and all those things. So you might want to come up and then bend from your hips as you come forward. You can maybe bring your hands underneath your legs, or you can leave them above. Just hold onto your feet, or maybe make a little pillow for your head, however you want to do that. Find a place where you can be for just a few minutes. Since it's not a full class, we won't be here as long as we would normally be. But we start considering into our feelings and not being swept away with our feelings, which would be an indication that we have too much energy in our second chakra. In recovery, again, the second chakra is important because that's the disease of alcoholism, drug addiction, shopping, any of those addictive behaviors is a feelings disease. Typically, we are trying to change our feelings, and by changing our feelings, we try to manipulate our worlds around us, and then while doing that, then problems begin. So we feel our feelings and let them go. Of course, this is where our sexual energy is as well, and there's many people who have sexual addictions. And so we try to find a balance in that, having a healthy attitude toward our sex in our sex life, but not taking it to the extremes. Which is why guilt is a shadow part of our second chakra, in that we might feel guilty about how we perceive our sexuality. Of course, not having enough energy in our second chakra, we might feel dry. Our creativity might be dry, and we might not have the joy of life, because soma is the joy of our life, and that often is a feeling that is with our second chakra, allowing the sense of joy to happen. So if we have a balance in our second chakra, maybe we feel a sense of creativity in life. We're able to create our life to be where we need it to be, and we're okay with our sex life, in the amount and who we're doing with is proper, and we are able to flow with life, because water is a flowing energy. Of course, if we have too much water and we're trapped in our feelings and we're getting carried away with that, even our sexual energy, then we need to set boundaries. And the earth energy sets the boundaries for our second chakra. So sometimes when we need boundaries, we work into our earth energy, which then sets the boundaries for our second chakra. It gives us a room, a place for our feelings. It gives us a container for our creative energies. So we'll just take a few more breaths here. And we'll come up, and maybe you just want to work your legs side to side just to get any tension into your hip area. Our hips are where we hold a lot of our feelings, especially females, and that's why people who might, they always say the issues are in our tissues. And a lot of times people may be in pigeon or any kind of really intense hip opener and come up crying. And I see that often in classes. And they're crying and they don't know why. It's just a release that's happening and allowing that water to flow. And of course our tears are part of our water element, and that allowing them to flow without concern allows that cleansing to happen. So that's another reason why to do yoga. Okay, so we're coming to our navel area, our third chakra. And of course that'd be a core work of some sort. So we don't want to, in a restorative way, to do both for 5 minutes. So I have to wonder, what can we do for our third chakra? So I thought we would stretch our third chakra. Some are twist into our third chakra, and then we go onto our back and move our legs over side to side, as we often do. So maybe come on your back, bring your knees up in like you're going into on your back table, and dropping your knees over to the right. Maybe you want to look over your left shoulder. Bring your energy into your core area, into your navel area. And this is where our fire element is. Our fire of our belly gives us our willpower, gives us our self-esteem, gives us all our self-stuff, our self-power, empowerment, which is so important in recovery, that we need to have that willingness to change from what our life normally is into a new life, and having that energy to move through life. That tejas, gives us our vigor of life into our third chakra. Also helps with our digestive system, of course, because that's where we assimilate our food. But in our third chakra, our self-esteem. So many people are suffering with self-esteem issues in this day and age. And that is one thing that the yoga can really help with, is that they come to a class that's not judgmental, and that they're allowed to be whoever they are and where they're at. And that's the atmosphere that we try to use at True Freedom. So go ahead and bring up your knees, and then we'll go to the other side. So drop over to the left side, and again bring your energies into your navel area as you twist, and talk about excess and deficiency of the third chakra. So if you have an excess in your third chakra, you might be egoic. You might be so much of a go-getter that nobody wants to be around you because you're always driving too much. Or you might become angry because so much fire, especially if you're a pit of nature, then your fire gets out of control, and it comes out as rage or anger or something like that. And so we need to calm our fire down, and we control our fire with our water element, and that water controls fire, of course, starts dampering it down. So we work with our feelings for that. And then if we don't have enough water or enough fire in our bellies, our digestive system's not good. We might feel like a doormat. We not have good self-esteem. We might not be able to have the willpower to get what we want to accomplish in this life, our dharma, out. So we get stuck. And so we need to have a proper fire in our belly. You can think of like if you're cooking eggs or something, you don't want a roaring fire, because your eggs will burn. Well, how about tofu? We'll go with tofu as more veganish. So you don't want to burn your tofu with a bunch of fire, and you don't want to have a little bit of fire, because it would take all day to cook and it wouldn't cook properly. So the same thing with our fire in our belly. We want to find that happy medium where we have fire, we have the willpower, but not to a point where we become egoic with it, not to a point where we become insistent in our own way. in driving over other people to get our way. And so many people in recovery have self-esteem issues, but they hide that self-esteem issues with a overpowering ego. And so that is a real problem in recovery. I certainly know I have that. I might not feel good about myself, and so to feel better about myself, then I might come across like I have everything together, when actually inside everything is falling apart. And so we try to find that balance with that. Okay, so then from here we can go ahead and come over into a C position. So bringing your arm over. And then coming up onto your belly. Go onto our belly for our heart chakra. We'll just do a simple Sphinx pose. So just coming on your forearms, having your pelvis heavy into our earth energy, but lifting up, allowing our heart to come forward. Of course, if this isn't enough for you, you can always go into seal pose. Come up a little bit more. We'll be here about just a few minutes. I think I figured if we had about 5 minutes per posture, we can get 7 in 45 minutes, but we'll see if we don't go over too much. So our heart chakra is really good to explore in our inventory into how we relate to other people. A lot of people's addiction is in their heart from codependency. A lot of our problems are we have a sense of grief in our heart. We have things that are protecting our heart from past experiences, and so we're not open to letting anybody else in. And so we have those are the two extremes. We either have our heart so wide open that we crave other people to appreciate us, and when we do that, then we lose sight of ourselves. Instead of our energy having enough energy for our third chakra, all our energy's up here in our heart chakra, and so we don't have our drive for our own self. Our own self-esteem goes down because we're attached to somebody else's self-esteem. So, but having that heart, a balanced heart chakra, then we are able to connect with other human beings. We feel empathy, and empathy is really important in our recovery process, and that is the way recovery works, is that we have empathy for somebody else because we've been there. We might not have the exact same stories, but we know the feelings behind them. And I think that is good for any aspect of life, even if you're not in recovery, to find empathy and compassion. Of course, compassion is also into our third chakra, because compassion is saying you want to do something to make something different. Or empathy, you are feeling the feelings with the other person. You're sharing those feelings. But by doing that, then they gives other people permission to be okay with their own feelings and work through their feelings. And again, that's the way why recovery works. Of course, this is also the air element. And air element is change. So it's moving. It's a little bit lighter than the fire element, but it's heavier than our space element. So it's in between, and that's why the symbol for the heart chakra is a Shakti and Shiva, or Shiva and Shakti signs of the two triangles, one going up and one going down. This is where we are bound in our life of our dualic life. We are of this earth, but we want to reach up to the heavens. And so we need to stay grounded so then we can lift up for that. So we work into our heart chakra and find the love. Of course, love is can cure anything and can cure this world. If we bring our own love into the world, then we're allowing others to feel love. So by working on our own heart, we're working on the conscious heart. This yug that's coming up is lifting us up from our first three chakras, which is a societal issue in that the safety, sex, and ego is what we've been working on as a society for the last thousands of years. But now we're moving up into the heart chakra, the more of emotions, where the second chakra is about our feelings and our feelings of moving. Our emotion is our deeper seated thoughts behind our feelings. So our feelings and our emotions work together, but our emotions are in our heart, where our feelings are in our second chakra. So finding that balance of being open to connect with other people, but not in a codependent way, is part of this. And then we'll move on up to our throat chakra. And so we'll come up onto our knees for this. It also could be part of our heart chakra, in that we will do a modified camel. We won't go into full camel unless you like camel and you want to be in it for 5 minutes. You certainly could. But we will bring our pelvis forward and drop your head back. Open up your throat chakra. Our throat chakra is where we hold our truth. We speak our truth. We speak from our heart or our mind. And throat chakra is a bridge in between. Sometimes the bridge is open and we're speaking from our mind. Sometimes the bridge is open and we're speaking through our heart. Finding that balance of speaking through our heart-mind is the challenge of the throat chakra. And it's also how we communicate to the world. It's a different kind of creativity. It's like the creativity of our second chakra, when this creativity allows us to express ourselves. This is where artists and musicians express themselves through their throat chakra. So having a balanced throat chakra, then you have that ability to express how what you're creating. In the second chakra, we are creating. In the throat chakra, we are bringing it forth in the world. And so what blocks our throat chakra, especially when we're growing up, is not being able to speak our truth into like holding family secrets and those kind of things, or having to see things at the house that just aren't normal and having to hide that truth. So a lot of people have that, especially when they're abused as children, when there's trauma in the house in the childhood aspect. So that closes up your throat chakra. I think mine's getting closed from, I taught at the park today. But at any rate, so then it closes your throat, so you can't speak your truth. You can't speak of who you're supposed to be, who your authentic self. So we need to work into our throat chakra for that. We'll just be here for another minute, and then we'll go into rabbit pose on the other side of our throat. So having excess on your throat chakra, you might talk too much. You might gossip. You might lie. That is the blockage of our throat chakra into our fifth chakra. Just go ahead and come forward if you're in full camel, and bring up one hand and then the other. And then come down onto your knees and come onto your forehead, which is starting into our sixth chakra, because all the chakras go together, and that's why we do yoga, is to open up our chakras in different ways. So come on up to your forehead and then roll on up to the top of your head. And then take your your hands on either side of your neck, of the cervical spine, push in and pull away. Push in and pull away. And breathing into your throat area. Of course, not having enough energy into your throat chakra, you're not able to express yourself. You might not be able to be heard, as they say, which is one of the reasons that I started becoming a yoga teacher. And I was a child of an alcoholic family, and I wasn't able to speak my truth. And that's why I became a yoga teacher, to work into my sixth chakra. And since becoming a yoga teacher, I've been able to express myself and allow freedom in my throat chakra, and coming closer to my authentic self, I think. Okay. So then just come back onto your forehead and shake your head like you're saying no. Stimulate your sixth chakra. And then let's go ahead and come into, need to do an inversion. So let's go ahead and come into a down dog. Bringing your head down. For our sixth chakra, it's not really a yin pose, but still, maybe you're ready for that by now. We'll start into our sixth chakra, our Ajna chakra, which is where we have our intuition, where we have our vision, where we start working with our assimilating from what's on the exterior and bringing it inward. And so we can make it real for us, looking for the truth. Of course, we can never find the truth on the outside. We need to bring that intuition and bring that seeing within. So much of our problems is from looking for the external for our truth. And we've always had the truth. So the problem with sixth chakra is illusion, what is not the truth. And of course, we are born into ignorance because we don't have enough knowledge to know who we truly are. And so oftentimes we go into, for meditation, working into our sixth chakra. So that is a good way for that. So you can come on down, and if you're still in down dog, and maybe you like to just walk your hands back to your feet and just go into a forward fold. You grab the back of your legs, or let your hands hang. Have a slight bend in your knees so you're not hyperextending. Just looking downward, looking into your intuition. What does your intuition tell you today? Of course, in finding the truth is our yogic practice. We know that from Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Dhammaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya, Mrityur Ma Amatam Gamaya. We are looking for the truth of who we are and what we are in our yogic practice. In our recovery practice, we are uncovering our true person from the illusions that our addiction has been giving us. Whether, and maybe you're not in a 12-step recovery process, but everybody has addictions of some sort, or most people do. 99% of the people have something. It might be shopping, it might be overworking, it might be, so don't discard yourself thinking that you don't have any addictions, that this doesn't apply to you. Remove what is false to find what is real. And we do that by doing an inventory, by doing meditation, by looking mindfully at our situations of what is real and what is fabricated in our life. And that is, we're starting to use our higher intelligence. To our Buddha. Let's come on down and find a seated place. We could probably do a headstand, but that wouldn't be very yin-like. So we're going to end with a short meditation, short chakra meditation. So finding a place where you can sit comfortably. The seventh chakra is about our connection to our the God of our understanding, and or just universal love. It doesn't, if you're not a believer of God, it doesn't matter. You're still connected to the universe in one form or another. So the seventh chakra, we have that connection. And in here, we can have too much energy. And in that we're always seeking something outside of us for validation of who we are. And that is where like a lot of the rigid religions come from. That is where people who follow people like Jim Jones and drink the Kool-Aid is because they have way too much energy in their seventh chakra. Of course, not having enough energy in your seventh chakra, then you're not able to connect to the universal truth. You think it's just you and you alone that have to go through this world. And so we find that balance of feeling connection to a higher consciousness, a higher self, but not to a point where we are looking outward. We need to bring that energy inward and find the truth inside ourselves. So let's bring our eyes closed and maybe look up to your third chakra, or your sixth chakra. Feeling your third chakra as a force to allow you to sit for a few minutes. And just feel as if you're connected to the earth. And as you inhale, feel as if you're bringing up earth energy from Mother Earth into your first chakra. And as you exhale, feel as if you're letting that energy go and back into earth. It's almost as if you're breathing in the earth, and the earth is breathing in you. And as you inhale, feel as if you're bringing that, as you inhale, bringing up your energy from your first chakra to your second chakra. And as you exhale, feel as if it's releasing back into earth. You're lifting up from your first chakra to your second chakra, 2 inches below your navel. And as you exhale, feel as if you're releasing it back into earth. Going from the earth water, the earth energy to the water energy. And feel as if you're breathing up from the earth energy, going from your first chakra to your second chakra to your third chakra to your navel area. And as you exhale, feel as if you're releasing, letting go. Breathing up from your first, your second to your third, and then releasing back into the earth. bringing your attention upward. Feel as if you're inhaling, you're bringing energy from your 7th chakra, from the heavens, into your 6th chakra. And as you exhale, feel as if you're making an offering up into the heavens. So breathing in from your 7th chakra to your 6th chakra. Exhaling, releasing, letting go back into the ethers. Then inhaling, coming from your 7th chakra through your 6th, going down into your 5th chakra. And as you exhale, feel as if you're releasing back up to the heavens. Inhaling, bringing it down. Exhaling it, allowing it to go back up. And feel as if you're inhaling, you're bringing energy up from your 7th chakra, down all the way into your heart chakra. But at the same time, feeling as if you're bringing your earth energy up from the 1st chakra to 2nd chakra to the heart chakra. And as you exhale, feel as if the energies are going in both directions. Inhaling, bringing the heaven energy down and the earth energy up. And exhaling, releasing, letting go. And bring all your attention to your heart area, place of your Atman, place of your highest consciousness, place where earth meets the heavens. Ready. Letting all that go. Just feeling your body, feeling okay in your body. Feeling like as if you have energy to go through this life, and creative energy to make the purpose of why you're in this earth happen. What is your dharma, and how can you make that happen? That is working the 7 chakras in with our yogic way in a nutshell. Of course, you can go deeper in each one of them, and maybe there's times when you need to have more earth energy, so you work into your lower chakras, or maybe there's times when you need to speak your truth, or you're working through a problem and you need your intuition. So I also offer Vedic recovery life coaching, or life coaching without recovery in a Vedic perspective. So if you're ever interested in that, let me know. And that may entail Reiki, it may entail massage, it may entail talking or mantra or meditation. We just don't know. But all those tools are available, and can help you realize your true self. And do try to come to true freedom when you can. And I'd like to thank Karen and everybody at Project Yoga for all they do, and excited for us working together in the future. We'll bring our hands together, and collectively we say Namaste. Thank you.